l'essence de la vie. L'amour est l'essence de la vie. L'esprit rend noble. Il est un présage. L'amour est l'essence de la vie.
Hey, traders. Welcome to the stream. Not too much going on with Bitcoin besides it's down 0.4%. Same price it was at June 18th. Same price it was at October 3rd. September 8th. You name it, man. But I'll tell you, outperforming mostly everything else is in equity. So, yeah. I would say no edge and below 19,891, below 19,650. Great. I don't know, man. I'm looking at like a stable asset now, right? It's like a store value, a better store value than most sovereign currencies now. That's like real life. I mean, it's losing less value over a period of time. But again, until we get above 19,891, you know where I stand. Can't be bullish yet. Even if we get above 19,891, I'd like to see a back test. I'd like to see some sort of massive green candle with volume to start it or something. But like until any of those things happen, there's just no point in even risking it right now. A lot of the altcoins look like they're about to collapse again. Oh my God. And a lot of stocks look like that. Gold looks like that. Yeah. The VIX. It's up, man. Remember the VIX and the DXY. Hand in hand together. They will destroy the world. Here's your VIX up 3.57% on the day. And the highest, wow, the highest daily candle close today, right? Since June 13th. Right, of this whole rally. This is the highest close, right? You opened, okay, you opened September 28th at 34.53, but look where you closed, right? So that's interesting. Multi-month highs on the volatility index. Better be careful. What happens if this continues to spike? Oh my God. You don't want to know. US dollar continuing to climb, attempting a rally off of hidden bullish divergence. I mean, if you're in a bullish trend and there's a bullish edge, it could be reliable. Well, it's being reliable. It hasn't quite outperformed yet. I think if it outperformed, we'd be making fresh highs and officially hitting that 886, you know, the 2000 886. Can y'all hear me? Just make sure. I had to change something on the Stream Deck. Still haven't figured everything out. There's something wrong, man. Like there's just something broken on the application when I updated it. So I can't do things I want to do that I used to be able to do. So there's your US dollar and the VIX, the two wrecking balls, continuing to climb up. And okay, we're looking at Bitcoin, look at Ethereum. Ethereum, if you're just patient, you're going to get lower prices, I think. Bearish and golden candle yesterday, and guess what's going to happen today? You're going to get a daily candle close confirmation, confirming the bearish and golden candle from yesterday isn't a joke. It's real. Like a lower close than that engulfing candle. And in fact, it's going to be your close. You're getting real close. Could happen in an hour, but maybe not. But be your third lowest daily close, you know, since September, right? They're just right. You get impulses and consolidation, impulse, consolidation. And why am I seeing an impulse and just consolidation that is so weak, pathetic? There's no one buying. There's a buyer strike. Just don't know why you're not going to go back to 1223, and then eventually 1022. That's been the case for a while now, right? Definitely been the case for a while. And you're just going to complete the M shape. I'm sorry that like it's the same thing. Oh, you know what's happening today? Or yesterday and today. Ethereum, right back in that bearish control zone. Bearish control zone, 38.3. You know what can happen when you fall in the bearish control zone. Yeah, I can go much lower. So. Oh man, you know, that pennant we were in, you've broken it, you stayed out of it. Really, really close to testing the same support from June. And you're sitting there, and that's kind of it. There's no like real edge. I mean, nothing. It's not. I don't even consider that real bullish divergence. The RSI looks terrible. It's reset the oscillators. It's 32, so it's not even oversold anymore. Bitcoin got out of oversold territory too. Because yesterday it was sitting at like 26, and I mean almost always in the 4 hour when it gets oversold, it resets with some sort of move. And yeah. What was the daily on Bitcoin though? Oh, its RSI is at like 42, so getting close to the bearish control zone. Yeah, so not much going on, right? Down 0.79%, kind of makes sense. The flush hasn't happened yet. I think we'll get a nasty day probably at some point with the way things are going with the macro. You have 3 days. 3 days, end of the week. The Bank of England's done with their temporary quantitative easing. And as soon as he said that today, everything sold off. Not just Bitcoin, not just the Great Britain pound of the cable, right? Not just the euro, gold, Nvidia, Google, Paramount, AMC, you name it. Just about everything else. Oh, not Kanye, you stole my meme. I posted that memes of the month, dude. But it's greater than crypto, dude. The VIX and the DXY are way greater than crypto. So yeah, dude. So we go to BNB if you want to look at it. You know, we should look at these bigger coins first. It's, you know, I think eventually you're probably gonna see 247, whatever. It's not even really that one as much as it is 220. I think 220 daily. Lots of distribution here. Setting up for lower prices. Just hasn't flush hadn't come yet. Something's breaking. Things are breaking. Oh, and what about yesterday, right? I'm talking about, hey man, tomorrow, like, which is today. Tomorrow, composite operator, right? The producer of the Truman Show guy. He's gonna be like, go ahead and do something. Some bad news is coming out tomorrow. I mean, stuff happened today. Bad. What about, you know, the SEC's investigating, you know, like the largest NFT, you know, the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Okay, I mean, just on top of the whole Bank of England stuff. Yeah, bad stuff. And tomorrow probably be something else. So BNB, I mean, just wait, man. Like, I just think you'll get a better opportunity at lower prices. And it's like hard to talk about anything below 211 because you're so high above it, right? But just know if you ever break that level, bye. Bye. BNB, $40. This hasn't happened yet. Takes a lot of time, man. A lot of time. We go to XRP because, you know, people are curious about XRP. Remember yesterday you had a bearish engulfing candle. It looks like in 46 minutes, unless something changes, you're going to have a confirmed bearish engulfing candle with follow through on the next day. And you have that really strong edge, a discernible edge. The oscillator's implying on a daily time scale a reversal, a confirmation high, mayhaps, quite possible. Let's just see how it performs. I mean, you understand you are in a long-term downtrend. That has not changed. You are not in a uptrend. But you had a really nice run because of news and the merge and all that weird stuff.
Holding up better than silver or other miners. Hoping all wrecked.
We'll check it out. Jeffrey, thanks for the American contribution, man. Let's get some more brisket. Thanks, dude. Yeah. HL. So this, I mean, how many countless times have we seen a confirmation high with bearish divergence on daily time scale play out? I mean, if you're staring in the face of the variables, right? I mean, the engulfing confirmed and the divergence after, you know, just think about from just the, not even the true bottom, but from the low to like the high. An asset that went up 70% in 24 days. What are you trying to accomplish by ignoring the bearish divergence, potential confirmation top, the bearish engulfing candle, the fact that it ran up 7% in less than a month? I mean, like, the upside is just so limited, even if it pivoted and rallied, right? I mean, we were talking about the spring back test, engulfing, right? Those things actually happen down here, and that's okay. That makes more sense for a long, but you understand what double tops confirmation highs are. It's like the first time market participants push the price up and then it sells off, and then they attempt to rally, and when the rally stalls out or fails, oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes, market participants realize there's just not enough demand to push this asset higher, so the buyers just relent. And sometimes you'll get a dark cloud cover, you'll get a bearish Rami, you'll get a bearish engulfing candle on a daily, and then you'll get confirmation. And that's confirmations, a lower close today than you had yesterday, which was the engulfing day. So, but it doesn't mean it can't pivot and rally. Yeah, sure. But it's just saying, like, you're just kind of ignoring the stuff that's developed. And you keep doing that, man. See how that goes.
Yellen said everything is fine. Can you check out Mara? Thanks, Mitch.
What's up, 1,000 mountains? Thanks, dude. Yep. It's probably like 750 mountains now. due to inflation, but I still appreciate it. Okay. So that's your XRP. Sure, it's done better than others in the past month, but new data is presenting itself, and good luck. Cardano still by on God, man. It's gonna make a multi-year low again today. Terrible, down 2.2%. Was down 4% roughly at its lows of the day. Wow. How about this? Hitting oversold today, hitting oversold on the daily for the first time since May of this year. That's just not like that crazy, but still multi-month lows on the World Strength Index and officially oversold barely, but still. And you just gotta wonder when this levy breaks, how low can we go? We can go real low. It's a straight up, straight down affair. And we knew what it was. We know what it is on the weekly. It's a beautiful textbook descending triangle. We can get rid of the channel now. The channel is not helping with anything. Maybe I could make the weekly visible on the daily now, because it is real. This supply line, this distribution. Oh yeah, man. Just think about the psychology of a descending triangle. Less market participants, but later and deeper it may be into the descending triangle when buyers do come in at the base of buying and they push the price up. And then there are just so little of them that they are unable to retest or to test a developed supply line. Look, you failed to see that, and now you're back down at these lows, and bearish engulfing candle in the midst of being painted. It'll take a miracle for this to not be one of the worst things to happen to Cardano in a long time. Okay, your dangerous levels. If you're a long-term holder of Cardano, you're about to find out why. If you continue to hold long-term after the bubble pop last September, over a year ago, you're about to find out that this market's called a trader's market. Trader's market, not an investor's market. Maybe Bitcoin, because it has the time of success, and Ethereum, time of success over their existence. But something like Cardano, if you're just ready to drop another 35-40%, you don't think it can get any worse. That's what they say in the movies, man, before it gets really way worse. It can't get much worse for Cardano. Just wait, you'll see. It can't get much worse for Sol, right? No way. No, it can't get much worse for Sol, chat. Truly. Oh yeah, it's about to get much, much worse for Sol. You see it, right? The base of buying at $30 when it breaks, $20. $20 has been the target for a pretty long time, It's just you had the summertime lull. You had that 6-week bear market rally with stocks that probably helped, and the suppressed volatility index. But you see the weekly. It's very similar in nature to Cardano. Once it breaks, the target's $18 to $21 easily. And my God, say we're like deep into 2023 somewhere, and things have gotten worse than anyone could have imagined. I mean, you can't be that surprised the Sol eventually sees $5. What would stop it? Like, is there something I'm missing in their earnings report or on their balance sheet? Oh wait, they don't have those things, so you can't really assess its value. Are new people? Wait, hold on. Crypto, Metcalfe's law. Are there like a bunch of new people joining this network every month, every day? No. In fact, people are like leaving, and it keeps breaking. It keeps going down once every few weeks. There's just not really an argument to own this right now. I mean, maybe at $5, maybe at $20, and there's a technical reason, but my God, man. I know some people like it. Okay. It's kind of, all right, you don't have to listen. You just own it and be obsessed with it. And treat it like your God, which some people do out there, which is crazy. But when 30 bucks breaks, you can clearly see what's in store for it, and it's much lower prices. All right, so that was sold. Doge, that was that flop. Again, how can Bitcoin's bullish archetype to return with divergence on the Doge? How could it play out? It can't. VIX, it's the VIX, man. How could Doge, that little inverse head and shoulders on the 4 hour, how could it play out? It can't. It won't. VIX keeps doing this, everything's gonna get wrecked, man. We'll get a big flush, you'll see. Yeah, kind of in that same situation here. I don't know, it's trying to hold this weekly high. Dogecoin, I can't believe I'm looking at this. There's just so many more important things, but I'm looking at it for you because you like Dogecoin. You can see it's trying to hold on to 58 cents. Really, that's it for that's like Sol's $30 support. Doge is 58.5. You're well below the 200-week moving average. The trend is certainly bearish. There's no arguing. You're 100% on the weekly in the bearish control zone at 36.8. I mean, outside of a scrub, potential inverse head and shoulders is not even real, right? Because it hasn't broken the neckline, and that's the point. You have nothing. You have no bullish argument to go off of. I think if we wait till mid 2023 or less, right? I mean, it can get bad fast, but you really gonna be surprised if this asset, which again, it's like Sol, no balance sheet, no utility. It's just a joke. It was created as a joke. Elon Musk likes it. That's probably why it's at 6 cents still. But if you see this lose 66% more of its value over the course of next year or the next 6 months, how can you be surprised? There was no formal support that was created. On the run, momentum-driven asset class. No formal support. You think that's support, dude? You'll find out if you give it enough time. I think these are still the same order of market cap size. Here's your dot that you had a chance. Bulls presented an argument before we started stalling out. Right, it was a nice argument, and in other market conditions that would have been a brilliant reversal. But the problem is the follow-through you received after presenting the argument was so abysmal, you ended up somehow painting a very bearish structure we know well as the right angle descending broadening formation. And it was very similar, if not identical, to Hex in the end. Hex did the same thing where it was like, hey man, we got a chance here. Very interesting. You're breaking supply lines, you're holding supports, but then this pattern comes out of nowhere. Stalling, right? Higher highs, same low. It's just as you would look at a right angle descending broadening formation almost the same way. I mean, the same way you'd look at a descending triangle. It's the same narrative, same outcome of the psychology of it. And so look what you've done. It's beautiful. Look how market participants of DOT have pushed the price to just confirm for the first time that this asset, or this pattern is real. What was once support is now resistance. And now you're below it, and how many times are you gonna make lower highs after that high? Clearly showing less market participants involved in the asset than there was September 27th. There's today. The target, I'm thinking, is 553. Maybe I'll be wrong. Been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. But this just looks terrible right now. Looks awful. Yeah, and technically partial rise, sure. And this became the confirmed partial rise. When we hit the bottom again, pretty much you confirmed a partial rise. Yeah, you had a little rally, a little bit more demand. There's just a little bit more demand to be absorbed. But look at that flush, right? After just a scrub rally happens. Just correlated to Bitcoin probably on that day. Okay, so we just looked at the big coins, the bigger coins, right? Now let's shift it over to the market that matters. It's crazy, right? S&P 500 down 0.65%. Not your lowest candle close of the entire bear trend. Your second lowest though. Bearish control zone on the RSI on the daily at 34.168. A lot of room for downside. But at the same time, you look left, hey, the peak from September 2020. Not just your candle high close, your wick, market participants held it today. So are you below it? No. Did you break support today? No, you held it. So no confirmed bearish breakdown yet. But we're getting there, man. We're getting real close. Of course, miracles can happen where the bids come in, money printer go. Nah, I mean, I just pay attention. This is certainly a level where an asset would react or reverse. We know that's what inflection points are. We're at the inflection point, but if there's not enough demand and there's too much supply, too many sellers, this inflection point is going to break and you're going to go fill a gap at 35.11 really fast. Really, really fast. November 2020. So I could just say critical areas, very bearish trend, hanging on by a thread. Oh my God. I mean, like the index fund, the S&P 500 is hanging off of a cliff with one hand. And below you is a long way down, man. Long way down. But hey, you know, one time we had a squeeze, we had a rally, and maybe the second time. But I don't know how you could have confidence at all. And it's really not just looking at the S&P 500. It's looking at the individual assets that make up the S&P that is concerning. So many assets on my watch list. It's a huge watch list. It's ridiculous. And they're not all on the S&P. Okay, they're all at least on one index fund or another. There are so many assets, individual assets that have broken supports. They spent the past week or two back testing the levels that used to be support. They're now resistance. And below you is the abyss. So it's just like, if you look at all these individual assets, you just can't be surprised on how could the S&P not hold support? How could the S&P eventually see $3,230? You know, if you look at the stocks, not the index fund, you know how there's more downside. Look at your Dow Jones, closed up today, miraculously, but not as great as you would think. Not at all. Kind of cool how it's like, hey man, the channel, like the demand line that's been disrespected a lot, kind of. It's more like the supply line, the most important here. But what's happened? For the past 48 hours, market participants have pushed the price to attempt to break an old level that was once a support. Well, it was actually once a resistance. It was your pre-COVID crash high. It was once a resistance. Guess what? It's now resistance again. What happened last time it was resistance? For real. Well, I mean, like, you know, right here is that it was tested as resistance. It was violated a little bit. But again, with the new data, with the data that's been presented today, very bad. And good God, I mean, the last, like when it was a resistance before, look how bad things got, man. Not saying that's going to happen again at all, but I'm just saying that's the level. For 48 hours, 2 trading sessions, failure. And that's like kind of confirmation. It's like, hey man, it's like, or sorry, this is 2 4-hour candles, excuse me. This is the whole day. You broke it, and now you back tested it all day today, the whole trading session. Sorry, I'm looking at the 4-hour. 4-hour looks terrible on the oscillators. Looks so bad, man. About to go negative again. About to fall in the bearish control zone again. Oh man, like what? Look at that. Look at the daily. Woo. Mother of God. You get it though, right? You get the pure and utter rejection of a level that when that, for the first time in human history, when it was tested, it was a top. It was the all-time high at one time. February of 2020 was the all-time high. It's now resistance again. So you better understand what's happening. God, dude. And here's one that no controversy at all. NASDAQ, lowest price again since 2020, but this was your lowest daily candle close today since the date of July 28th, 2020. Somewhat of a support of an inflection point. It was one time in history, September 2020, where you pivoted and rallied. You're below that. You closed below it. And not only that, you gapped down, you filled the gap, great. And you have now, not like the Dow Jones, right? Tested an old resistance as support. Well, an old support has now been tested and confirmed as resistance today on the NASDAQ. And you kind of understand how little to nothing there is here. It's a straight line up, ladies and gentlemen. Making fresh lows, not oversold on the daily, right? I mean, you're sitting at 33.46, starting to build negative momentum again. I mean, everything's fine for much lower prices. It'd be weird if we started rallying hard here. Nothing's implying that that's going to happen. There's no seller exhaustion. You're below resistance. You've tested a level that was a support, is now resistance. Nothing really makes sense. You might go fill a gap if you're lucky. God, short squeeze again, just scrub squeeze. But man, the liquidity just keeps exiting. It's gone. All right, let's go to the Russell 2000. I know, man. It's like, this is bear market. Welcome to bear market. Man, back in the bull market, it was like inverse of everything. Like, holy crap, dude, ascending triangles, and look at this, man. There's a sell wall with all this accumulation. Oh my God, look at this bullish Gartley, and it's a well-established uptrend like on COF. Holy crap, dude. I mean, there were so many. You had to participate and be a part of the community that is here right now in the bear market. You had to be here. And there were just so many. Remember the Haley's comment on Olin? I mean, the GME springback test identified the day it happened. $4 went to $400 plus or whatever. I mean, there were so many things that happened in the bull market. So remember, you just don't get negative. This is just the way it is right now. And there will, again, one day be a bull market, but it's just not this day, and it's not going to be for the next few months. It's going to be a while. So just understand that. So what's the Russell 2000 doing? Just hanging out below the key inflection points. That's it. It's up 0.06% today. That's not good. The longer you stay below this level, telling you, I'm thinking the probability increases. You're going to see 1600 and then eventually 1464 when that breaks. Nothing. It's just like Bitcoin below 19891, 19650. It's the same. Russell 2000 Bitcoin are almost in identical situations right now. And like talking relative to key inflection points from history. All right. So bearish on bearish on the stock market. Get it? Bearish on everything really, except the DXY and the volatility index, or puts or shorts. Because there have been some very good short setups presented somewhat recently that have already started. They already took off. And then some of them, like on energy, I don't really know where energy is going. Energy is outperforming everything. There's a chart that shows that everything is going down. Distribution, lower highs, lower lows for a while. And energy is higher highs, higher lows. It's the only sector doing that of the 11. The only one. So, but they were showing massive reversals and they dropped 15, 20 plus percent at the pattern completion zone of those patterns, but they've rallied all the way back up to the entry. Maybe for a type 2 return, maybe not. Maybe it'll continue, but I'm just, here's the thing about energy, right? Energy had been doing all those things, but it's different when we have an elevated volatility index. It is. The energy stocks are not going to pump when the VIX is elevated. When it pumps, the VIX goes to 35, 40 plus, your energy sector is going to get nuked just like the others. But it's so high now, it's just not going to lose as much value as the other ones that have already been killed, right? So that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's tough even being one to be, long energy right now because of the VIX, man. Context, it's not just this some normal times. Oh, we're lolling around in 2017 or something, it's not that. We have things breaking. We have bonds crashing. Oh God, is it really? Why is it? No, it's not. Don't gaslight me saying the Ethereum ticker's stuck. I'm looking at it. It just moved. Oh, weird. When I hit the Alt-Tab button, that's crazy. That's my Alt-Tab button gaslighting me, huh? Yeah, it would be when it's stuck. Okay, now I'm learning this. This is another thing behind a screen or another window. So when you hit Alt-Tab, it starts working for the moment you have the Alt-Tab screen open. And when you let go of it, you don't pull it up, it'll freeze again. Weird. Weird stuff. Okay, so let's go to gold. You know, trying to go across the markets, man. Gold, is gold bullish? My God, no. It's like the worst thing that could have ever happened, chat. Yesterday, which is today, but it's yesterday. You know, for a few hours. What happened, man? Just like it did before it flushed September 21st, 22nd. I mean, really, for almost a week. What happened, dude? To gold today or yesterday. Can somebody tell me? Pretty similar to what the Dow Jones did. And one of the other index funds. Okay, nice participation. Nice answer. Nobody. Yeah, good job. No one. What was once a resistance or support, right? What was once a support from earlier in 2021, support many times, has now been reconfirmed as resistance. That is a form of confirmation that everything that just happened was a joke. Give me a break. What a loser. 1,500 back on the menu as of yesterday, as of a few hours ago when this candle closed and was cemented in time forever, right? Yeah. And confirmed, right? I mean, a lower close too. It's awful, man. There's nothing bullish about gold right now. In fact, Sauron looks at you and says, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, long gold. Go ahead and put the ring on, bro. Yeah, it'll turn out real well for you. That's what he's saying. He's speaking to you. All right. Silver, yikes, dude. A little bit better shape than gold, yeah. But in fact, I mean, we go to the monthly so you can see. Remember, monthly is so important here. God, I did it again, chat. Oh, can't keep getting away with it. Remember, the 2008 candle high close at 1982. Look what's happened this month. What has happened this month? Another form of rejection. You better be careful. Because if that's it, the downside, again, 1387 is the target. It could take a year to get there. It could take 6 months plus. But my God, man, if you're doing that, you can't be bullish on silver. It was a scam. It was like to induce buying, I would think to give liquidity to the short sellers so they could push this price way lower. I mean, so you have to understand, on the monthly, below 1982, you have to be auto bearish. You can't be bullish. Can't be, man. Sorry. 886 is what? 1387. We're talking about a textbook bullish shark or bullish bat, whichever way you want to anchor the X is XABC. But the D point, no matter what, is 1387 by rule of harmonics. That's it. That'd be your target, your entry target, potentially for, at least for a reaction. You know, I have alerts set up on this thing, but man, you were doing it, man. You know, beginning of the month, you were going to do it. We were breaking above a key level, and no, you're not. You're back below. Everything that makes any sense. I would never do that, ever, Jerry. Ever. Put a gun to my head and make me do it? Nope. I would say I will be a martyr for Tolkien. Sure. Okay. How about copper? Well, we knew. I mean, copper looked terrible, and but it's kind of hanging in there, better than gold and silver, isn't it? Wow. There's more use case in copper certainly than there is gold and silver. But, you know, right now it's still above its key levels and certainly above its confirmation line. I mean, if you're talking about a potential falling three falling peaks, confirmation of this pattern's validity is when the price falls below $3.24. You're way off that. I mean, you're somewhat well off that. So it hasn't played out. It hasn't rolled over yet at all. Let's go to US oil. US oil still in a bear trend. In fact, probably, you know, depending on the peak, I'm thinking the peak, it's showing hidden bearish divergence. All right, wasn't Brandon saying they're going to buy oil from OPEC for like $75 a barrel? I think that was something that was talked about today. He wanted 100 or won 500,000 barrels, but only getting 100,000. I don't know, man. The trend isn't reversed. Like the midterm downtrend, yeah, long-term uptrend, I guess, right? But the midterm downtrend is still intact, right? You're not capturing previous highs really, and you've just recently made your lowest low. So a lot more data needs to be received before we could make any assumption that the trend is beginning to reverse again. The momentum is shifting to buyers once more. It hasn't really happened yet, so just a lower high. And in fact, you can kind of see it, right? You could go a little bit higher and then all of a sudden, don't even tell me this is going to happen. Don't do it to me, man. Don't you dare. Oh my God, that's what I'm saying, a little bit higher. The 886 is right at like $95, which is a swing low from March and April of this year. Give me a bearish shark and reverse there and collapse, whatever. But yeah, past 2 days been selling off. See what happens. How about natural gas, man? Natural gas hanging on by a thread. It's still below that 200-day moving average, isn't it? But what a beautiful, confirmed, slanted head and shoulders pattern. Textbook. Measure move takes you, below 1840, a little bit lower. But that would take you below very, very important levels. I mean, you're already below the 2016 low. So yeah, I mean, where you are, you could be seeing $20 in time. There is no edge, no formal edge. You were in the bearish control zone at like 36. So there's nothing implying that a big reversal is coming, but it certainly could anytime because it's natural gas and it's been one of the best performers of all the commodities due to geopolitical reasons, supply demand. Anything else notable? I mean, you got your hog futures. That's what I'm talking about. If this thing might be setting up for an incredible short opportunity if you're a commodities trader, where it's just a bearish continuation. Our very real classic distribution structure, the 3 falling peaks. It's pretty, for now, it's looking pretty symmetrical, looking textbook in its development, but not quite there. It could go a little bit higher. But yeah, this is just distribution, lower highs, less market participants own lean hog futures than they did before. With an elevated VIX, I'm not going to be surprised at all if this thing plays out and you eventually collapse. Okay. The trend has already reversed. You're in delusion world if you haven't noticed the harmonic that ushered in. It was a cycle reversal harmonic. You already have the lower highs. You already have the lower lows. You already have the lower highs, the lower lows. You have a trend and it's lower highs, lower lows. That's bearish trend. So, and the sheer performance of the, little wedge here type, the head and shoulders, it was beautiful, man. And now you're below the 200-day moving average. You're below key inflection points, but you're just really at like a couple, right? I mean, 92.60. But yeah, this could be going way further down if you're patient. Like cattle futures, though. Sorry, dude. You will not eat the steak. You will eat the bugs. Paper traders will make sure of that as it rises. It continues to hold above a key 144.42. And we know the 1618's up here, the 152, 154. I'll see again. It's like a massive harmonic potentially. Yeah, oh God, 153. Yeah. 153.27 is your pattern completion zone of this identified potential bearish crab pattern. the crab would be the 1618. I mean, the way it's holding right now with everything going on, it's pretty impressive. You got to be impressed with live cattle futures. Yeah, where's the cricket futures when you need it? Because we'll be starting to look at that. Hey, orange juice up 2%. Nice. Trying to hang on, man. I mean, the trend is not in jeopardy yet. It only makes higher lows. It just made its highest high in years. What, 5-year highs on orange juice just last week, and not rolling over yet. Still, I mean, it's just like, don't you wish like everything that you care about, like Bitcoin and I don't know, the index funds were making higher highs, higher lows consecutively, and were above their 200-day moving averages and making hidden bullish divergence on the higher low on significant time scales? I wish too, but that it's only orange juice, man. I mean, rice futures. Larry, what a run. What a run, and an identified bearish shark with a type 2 return, bearish divergence. Still performing okay. I don't think it's outperforming at all. I think it's too early. I'm saying if you're hitting A and C, you're performing very well, and that could be the one top, then the second top, maybe even on the weekly. But for now, pretty solid performance. And this is how cycles end. They don't always end like this. This could hold here and rally and go to the moon. Certainly, the trend is so bullish right now. But as we saw, right, it's almost the exact same structure we had identified on hogs. It was a good run, and then the shark. What is it? It's like hog, what is it? Hog rice. I don't know. Man hog rice is in this area. Yeah, dude. Beautiful. Similar to what happened with wheat, right? I think it was wheat. Yeah, remember up here it was a bear. I don't have an idea anymore. It was a bearish cipher. It was a W. The W shape that ushered in the reversal here. And hey, bad news on wheat. If you're a wheat fan, if you wanted to go higher, which who does, but you're back below the 200-day simple moving average. You're back below the inflection point from 2012. So you didn't break out. You tried, but you haven't yet. Understand, this is exactly, if you fail too much, you could be heading all the way back down to 742 because you're like kind of range bound between two levels. So you be really careful here. You're testing a resistance. You tried to break it, and you have failed. You didn't do it. You're down 4% roughly today. All right. Let's look at those coal futures. You know, we had identified Momo shifting, holding old resistance as support, spring back test. It was nice, hidden bullish divergence, but this pesky supply line here, right? The neckline of the potential, slanted inverse head and shoulders. You couldn't break it. You haven't broken it yet. So you got to wonder, though, is this going to make a full reset? If so, this is going to play out. And when I'm saying a full reset, it's like an 886. This is your high from 2018 to your low. 886 is way up at 4280. Even a 786, $38 is in line with some resistances. Those are your deep retraces. We're only right around that 618 for now. But hey, it's there. I mean, it's a solid trend. Come on, argue with the trend. You cannot argue with this trend. It's solid. Really good. Above the 200 moving average. Nice. Uh-oh. We got earnings coming up sometime. October 27th. Be aware of that. Let's knock out those requests real quick. One for Jeffrey. Why does it keep freezing again? Oh my god. My Ethereum ticker is freezing. Every day. HL. I forgot, we didn't look at total. All right, here you go. Here's total.
I like turtles. There's bears out here.
There it is, man. Not much movement today. Thinking a target of 840, right? Easy. I mean, where you are, it makes sense. When have you ever really reversed here? You haven't. So the downtrend is intact. 200 moving average is resistance. Fail, fail, fail. Okay, buyers tried so many times they're relenting now. Hecla mining. Hecla mining. It doesn't look good to me, man. We talk about a range-bound asset. Wow. That's rough, dude. I mean, if you can't break 680, 750, and then you create a beautiful head. Look at this head and shoulders. That is confirmed. That's a beautiful bearish momentum shifting structure. I haven't gone to this in a while, but man, it's so symmetrical. It's beautiful, isn't it? Whichever peak you're talking about, you know, forget the scam wick, but you just go with like the candle close right there. You see a couple days of that. I mean, that's real life, man. Real life. And so, don't you think an 886 would be in order at least from the previous low to high? Because you're talking like a, you know, premature harmonic that did not developed 218. Probably you're at 430. My God, man, you're testing the neckline as resistance now, confirming its validity from where you are right now. If it just goes to a mere 886, it loses 50% of its value. God, man, just ugly. I think bulls had their chance. They tried and they tried. Just too many sellers. And then the back test. Right, flip the chart over. Imagine looking at you sprung, you back tested the spring, and now you're rallying, you broke out. It's so range bound, man. I mean, you think the range will be respected or something, right? So the bottom of the range? Maybe not. Yeah. So you were saying hoping erect. I don't know how one could have any hope looking at failed breakout and then a back test of that failed breakout just to reconfirm the validity of it as a resistance again, and then a flush, and then a neckline being broken, and now you're just back testing the neckline. I mean, it may rally, but you get kind of the concerns on it, and yeah, sure, it could moon any time, always, right? Always could moon. $780 mountains wanted Mara, 780 because of inflation. It used to be 1,000 mountains. Oh yeah, target 625 easily. I don't think there's any argument really. I mean, the bubble popped. You tested a support. What was this thing? Is this visible on the... Okay, it's the candle high close. Maybe on the daily. Oh my God, it's like PayPal. 3 falling peaks, man. 3 falling peaks on the daily. Clear as the daily. Classic distribution going on. Oh my God, you know what's so bad? Like, think about it. You had a textbook. It was green, but a textbook shooting star reversal. Confirmed by far. And then what happened? The wombo combo. What gives you the strongest 3 falling peaks when on the 3rd peak you show hidden bearish divergence? How many times have we seen it now? So it is implied on the last high that a continuation downward is coming. You think minimum 886 from the previous low. For the shark, bat, whatever. 886, 675 in line with what? A couple inflection points, you know. I mean, I know, I get it, 887. But don't you get it? I mean, you had a scrub bear market rally, and now you're... Remember, the trend is so bearish. You are in a... Don't let anyone tell you we're in some sort of bull market here, especially on Mara. You're not. You're in a bear trend. It's confirmed by every authority in the world. You go to talk to the Pope, and he knew about TA, he'd be like, yeah, of course. It is confirmed. Mara bear trend. It is confirmed. I bless thee. All right. So bears trend, bears macro.
Suka H and S 4 hours.
Yeah, we'll look at it. Thank you, dude. Thank you. And almost confirmed. We're very close to confirming a classic distribution structure with a bearish edge on the daily. So you're talking about the trends bearish pattern. So therefore, bearish patterns that are identified in bearish trends are oftentimes reliable. And if they are reliable, they can oftentimes outperform. Well, here you go. And are you oversold? Mother of God, no, you're 43. So if this thing goes down from where it is right now, if it goes down another 36 to 40%, you cannot be surprised. You can't be. So bad, dude. I mean, it's beautiful. I love it. I love classic distribution. Hey man, look at this. And it's like, wow, this is pretty crazy right here. Classic accumulation structure in a prevailing uptrend. If you flipped the chart over, interesting. We saw a lot of this after the COVID crash. A lot of individual stocks were showing stuff like this. Or Moon. Sorry. Let's go to Suka. Last request. 3 on the day. Dead streamer. Streaming. Suka is ridiculous. It's ridiculous, man. It's holding the for now, holding the heart line. Wow. Held the heart line in September, holding it again. It's up 6.5%, and that hidden bullish divergence is starting to develop. You had the low, and you've now got the somewhat higher low with substantially higher levels of negative momentum. A bullish edge could be presenting itself on the oscillators if it is a true pivot. I mean, today, you're trying to invalidate the bearish engulfing candle from the 9th, so 40 seconds till you close. It's almost invalid. But yeah, very, very nice right now. As it fell back into the channel, but it's hitting the heart line. It was resistance, support. It could run to 12.2 cents and it wouldn't be that weird. It is certainly bucking, the entire macro, which is bad. That's for the 4 hour. You asked, you said head and shoulders. Head and shoulders. I wouldn't say so. Talking about inverse head and shoulders. Nah, I don't think so. But either way, man, you probably have like a supply. Yeah, new day. I get it. Like that. The original one. Then if you adjust, no breakout. Ooh, goodness. Is this really happening? Nah, no way. Kind of a wedge, but not really. I don't know, man. Not really at an inflection point. I mean, the heart line, there's just not much to go off of. It's just a nice uptrend and it's pivoting at pretty interesting levels, and 50 more likes for something, or 50 likes total, I think. Yeah, let's. If you're local on the 8s, nice close for Bitcoin, I guess, or something. Yeah, I don't know, man. What if we adjust for the right there? It looks pretty nice, like the original anchor points, the fake out, and now you're really breaking it. You broke the 200 moving average on the 4 hour too. I mean, the way the trend's going, you can't be that surprised if it keeps going that way. But I don't know, man. It's just a low tier S coin that has been killing it lately. Good for it. It did. If it was like bottoming out here, which we have no idea, you could target for 12 cents and 12.8 cents. 80% 618. All right, let's go back to Bitcoin. Because the daily candle closed and it wasn't that bad. It was, it still was a higher. Wow, it was so close. I have to scale out like crazy. Okay, yeah, so it was your lowest daily candle close. Bitcoin's lowest daily candle close since September 25th. Technically, yes. So a few week lows. Again, if I mean, this is the way I protected myself and saved myself a crap load of money this whole year. When you're below key inflection points after consolidating there for so long, you can't be bullish. You're either short or you're cash. You're not participating. How do you participate when you know what this level is and that you're below it and you know what's going on with the macro? How are you not risk averse right now? How are you like, oh, I'm going to take a shot? I think market participants had their shot. And you see these two curved lines right here. You see them. That's like conceptualizing their attempt. And what was their attempt conceptualized? A failure. And not just one time failing, twice. That's confirmation, too, that you have less market participants that own this asset than they did in September 12th, that they did August 15th, that they did June 8th. Get it. Don't fight the trend. We were given new data, but as the data continues to come out, we're seeing that no one's buying. This thing should have probably already been at 25 to 28K by now. If the macro was really good enough, if we were bullish enough, and we probably weren't about to get destroyed. I mean, you're in crash territory. I need you to understand, public service announcement. You're at a level right now where tomorrow, the next day, a week from now, a few days from now, where you are long enough, you'll be getting a flush like this. There will be a massive amount of pandemonium going on in the financial markets when you're below this level. The conditions are favorable. They're right. Tornado watch, whatever. Conditions are favorable for a crash, collapse on Bitcoin. The bulls had their chance. How many days? 155 days now. 155 days. I'm sorry, 100 on I think Cardano was 150. You had 117 days on Bitcoin to present a bullish argument. Okay, you presented a potential setup that we know, but there's no one buying now. It's just, you're not supposed to get this much time to buy at 18,950. You're not supposed to. Too much time, man. Like, just look what happens. Look what happened back, in the summer of last year. There were very few times to be buying. You get it. These are daily candles. Okay, so you're like, you don't even spend a day at the key inflection point from history. You intraday test it and then rally and don't. But then there was one day where you fell below it. Oh no, we're doomed. And then the massive bullish engulfing candle came in with an edge, and you were gone. It was gone before you could even identify it, almost, right? If you're not paying attention every day like we are, you missed it. And people be like, what? So you're not supposed to be that's not much time at the inflection point. Now, dude, we're like spending too much time here. There are no wicks. There is no one buying violently at supports anymore. In fact, we're below the supports. It's very similar situation here. It's earlier in the year, man, okay? Multiple times, so. Someone's like, is that a descending triangle, man? Not really. I mean, look, I get it, dude. It's more like it's kind of like a right angled ascending broadening formation, and there's just no more demand on it. It's like you got this buy wall at the June 18th low, and then you got just kind of got like it's like a writing. Oh my God, it really kind of is, man, and this isn't necessarily arising, let's see, yeah, that's pretty much like, you see the correlation, right, of the price right there. Well, it really is, though. If you look at it like this truly is your partial rise of the right angled ascending broadening formation. You get it? Just forget about the scam wick, the volume. Oh my God, insane. This was Saturday. Forget that. Just look at what makes the most sense here, as you can understand how valid this is as a buy wall. at what is it? 18,800 and change. And now it's so weak. Do we need to pull up? Oh my God. I mean, I can pull it up. Go to Bulkowski's encyclopedia. Talking about a measure move that would be in line here. I mean, if you had a measure move here from the top of the structure to the bottom, roughly. You're talking about a 100% measure move at $12,300. Which, $12,300 is right around candle high close from 2019. I mean, that's the area, that's the target on the monthly and the weekly. If Bitcoin doesn't hold this level, which it doesn't look like it's going to. I know your harmonic, and Scott Carney's been talking about, they look like duds. A dud. When the macro is so bad, they can present themselves, but no one buys them on the type 2, and they just keep making lower highs, and then contextually they get below old cycle top inflection points, and they stay below them. And I mean, here we are. Yeah, I know, dude. El Salvador was mining Bitcoin with volcanoes, dude. I know. I thought we were going to change the world. There's no argument based on traditional technical analysis to be long. You're delusional. You're wrong. Like, it can rally, though. Like, you can be in a really bearish situation and it still rallies miraculously. That doesn't mean that your argument made any sense. Based on the research that a lot of smart people put in over the past 100+ years, that makes sense, man. This is the pattern. That's what we got. Let me try to find it. Let me try to plot it out on a different chart so it looks, there's not as much noise. There's a lot of stuff going on, Just get rid of that channel on the Binance chart so we can just look at the pattern itself. It's gorgeous though, right? Is it not like freaking beautiful? But the problem is, now that we're identifying that candle close and we're saying that's the most respected level, if we're doing that, you got to understand how close we are to the crash. We're so close to the crash right now. That's your partial rise. Go call Bulkowski if you don't believe me. This is it. The way it's plotted, this is a textbook, undeniable partial rise. So it's only a matter of time before crash if you look at it this way. There's a 70+% chance, or at least a 70% chance of a bearish breakdown here on Bitcoin. If you look at the right angle descending Browning formation and you care about partial rises. 70. So the bears here actually have an edge. It's a bearish edge. Yeah, it was a 618 partial rise, high to low. It was also a bearish 5-0, right? That is your bearish 5-0 pattern completion zone. So you can also look at it like it was the shark and then the 5-0, and the bearish 5-0 is about to get paid, right? Because it's about to perform like the Jesus. The bearish 5-0 is about to break out. My God, man. And the stage is set on the oscillators. I think 42, neutral, but almost in the bearish control zone. Yeah, man. Got to ping everyone. Jeez. Man, my God, I hope the 30% chance plays out. Hope we get sucked out on the river. But we had it. Someone hit like a, 3-outer. But the odds are against you if you want Bitcoin to go up next. I don't know what to tell you. I'm really happy someone just, you know, so sometimes this is how it works. This is why it's so important if you're in the chat, in the live chat, and you're just typing, that you bring up, you just say, even if I miss it, I probably will miss it, but there's just this offshoot chance. If you say something thought-provoking, interesting, something in the world of TA, it's going to make me do something different that's going to turn into something like this, right? This all turned into this and now helps me see it by someone just saying, hey, man, do we just have like a descending triangle going on? And it's like, nah, it's not a descending triangle at all. Because, you know, it's like, how could it be a descending triangle? It's not. You know what a descending triangle looks like. All you got to do is go to Cardano, Larry. This is a descending triangle, right? Clear distribution with a buy wall. There's no other, or there's nothing else to it. That's it. Yeah, so Cardano's got a descending triangle, but Bitcoin's got a right-angled and ascending, broadening formation with a confirmed partial rise. What about XRP, dude? We looked at it very well today. I've discussed it. Just rewind the stream, man. Yeah, and definitely be careful about the CPI. Who knows about the CPI? It's like every other week we have, the market reacts like we have earnings season every other week, because it's like, you know, you got CPI, a couple weeks go by, then you have unemployment numbers, right? You've got, it just, in the market just responds violently. So much volatility. I mean, there's a period like during that volatility where Bitcoin moved 6% plus like 12 different times in like a day or two. It was insane. And it's just, now you're at this point where it's about to be the end of the line. About to be the end of the line, chat. If Bitcoin does this, oh my God. If you own crypto, you're about to lose a lot of money. If Bitcoin's about to do what it looks like it's about to do, you're going to lose a crap load of money owning an altcoin. Anyone. Probably. You might get really lucky and you find the one that bucks everything and doesn't crash. But then like later it'll crash. This is it, dude. It looks like now, I mean, the way this looks and the way I'm looking at where the actual buy wall is, it looks like collapse imminent. Coming anytime now. Anytime. There's just, you're running out of demand. The demand is lower, and people are exiting the market and they're propping the price up, absorbing remaining demand. And when the demand, there's absorption of demand going on if you're looking at Bitcoin like this. And once the demand is absorbed completely, it will just be like, oh my God, I'll be going live, not at regular time. You know, well, it'll be like the thunderstorm theme here, right? It'll be all those things going on. And you'll be like, dang, man. What happened? People are going to come in the stream that don't watch any of this ever. And they'll be here. We'll have an elevated number of viewers, right? Higher than the average. Because resolution, right? You have what happens. You have impulses, you have consolidation. You have impulses, you have consolidation. This is a much larger form of consolidation that we saw in May and June. Yeah, inverse song. Yep. I just like, I don't know what to tell you. Just be careful. Understand the context here. This is kind of like identified, I guess, better late than never at this point, man. Well, you had the bullish argument, right? But then the bullish argument turned into a bearish 5-0, but then there's a type 2 return on the shark, but then it's like, wait a second. The right angle descending broadening formation's always been there. Well, it's been there since, I guess, recently. I think the way we're holding it right now, barely, that's telling you this is a real buy wall, and it's being absorbed. The absorption of demand is happening right now. We've been live 1 hour and 16 minutes. If you're enjoying the live stream, hit the like button, build that sub. Thanks so much for being here. Sorry it's under such, you could say gloomy conditions, but there's nothing gloomy about a lot of us making life-changing money on the way up, and then over half the people that participate in crypto didn't get in on this run. And then they destroy the market
Michi,
with the
so
FOMO.
much blood in stocks. My dad will probably never retire lols. I guess I'll retire before him with Pulse Doge Malone coin chain token. Thoughts?
Probably so, man. Thanks for the 20, dude. Thanks for the Post Malone Dogechain coin, man. Win Post Malone Dogechain coin. I can tip you, man. Thanks, dude. Tune, do I remember? I still have it plotted on the GBTC chart. It was there. It was there, man. It was a trade setup. Of course it exceeded the targets, but this was here. You had it, man. It was there. And then just proceeds to, you know, go to all-time highs. But now look at you. What you think? This is good? You think GBTC's this is going to end well? Bear flag, broke it. You're below the inflection points, all of them. The target's $9. So GBTC, the downside, if it respects the TA, goes to the next level, down 18 to 25%. And you'll be right back where you started. This was identified, dude. Here. We were here every day. Oh my God, I've been doing this so long that it's just like here for the good times and the bad times. Don't get mad at me that we're in the bad times now, because we were here in the good times too. Yeah, so... But it's okay, because eventually the bad times will end. But it's just going to require two variables. If you can give me two variables, we're good. Time and lower prices. Just give me those two things, and we'll have the good times again, all right? The bull times. Go to Ethereum, whatever. Go to Ethereum. That we know where Ethereum's going, right? If Bitcoin was like, hey, man, the shark and all that. Now it's like, no way. I have no faith in the shark, okay? Right angled ascending barring formation with a partial rise, with a 70% chance of a bearish breakdown on Bitcoin. That's the analysis. That is where we are now. That now coincides with where Ethereum's probably going, which is $1,000 and $20 or $1,020, $1,025, whatever. The 886 of the wave structure, 1014, whatever. Okay. You already broke the bearish pennant. Yeah, you're still above 1223, 1260. Okay. All right. For now, until Bitcoin absorption of demand is complete and it drops like a rock, and Ethereum drops even harder than a rock. Yeah, Kai. Good times created the bad times. Yeah. But you understand, and this was when we started out, when I started doing this.
Let's wait and see what happens at London Open. 7:30 p.m. GMT was a strange time for Bank of England to tell pension funds they have 3 days to sort themselves out.
Yeah, you're right, dude. This is going to be like 3 a.m. Eastern. If you're in the States, 3 a.m. Eastern. Let's see what kind of moves we get at Open. Whew. It might be nasty, right? Yeah, you just gotta be really careful here, man. Your bearish control zone, bear trend, broke the bad action magnet move, high probability. If you break a bad action magnet move, you see an 886 with the way the structure is, the wave structure is. And it makes me really, I mean, understand that Adam, oh my God, dude, it's happening, man. This trade setup's gonna play out. Like I think, and things, it's done, dude. Party's over. It was awesome on the way up. It took forever. My God, that's what sucks, man. It's like, hey, bullish trade set up on a bear market rally because of the identification of the 3 rising valleys. But then it's like 4 rising valleys, 5, 6, 7 valleys, and then finally hits the targets. And then the third target ends up being the top, or double tops. And now it's just like you flip, close and reverse. Playing this one like a fiddle, right? So yeah, I would think that Adam's probably going to 850 again, and it's going to go. Adam's going to, if it sees 850 again, understand this, it's going to happen substantially faster than it took for Adam to go from effing 770 to 1690. It's going to go way fast. It might take less than a week to get there, right? Remember, escalator up, elevator down. The flush probably coming. Look at this. You're breaking the high. Look, you've already broken support resistance from May. And you got yesterday you got confirmation that the bearish engulfing candle is real as F. Well off that entry. That was it. That was the argument. You're below an inflection point from June and July of 2021. You back tested as resistance. You back tested the 200-day moving average as resistance, but it was with that engulfing candle and falling below the 200-day. There were so many variables that gave you a strong argument for downside, for shorting, right? And it's playing out wonderfully so far. But I'm thinking it's not accelerated yet. But if you're patient, probably get it. Oh, I think the demand line was broken too already, right? Easy. Certainly, yeah. Even if you adjusted it, you're out. There's no arguments. But then there are some that were never that good ever. Look at this. Like, this is Alice coin. I don't care. It's a scam. Yeah. Yeah, sue me. It's a scam. Yeah, dude. When you look at an asset like this, yeah, it's a scam. Guess where this is going? 9 cents, 10 cents. Like, it'll be the price of what GRT was this whole summer, right? 10 cents, 10 pennies. But dude, it's 158. But understand, it's a rectangle. You broke it. No one's buying it. There's no formal support at all anywhere. It's just gonna die. There are other ones out there, man. Like, oh God, KCS, dude, bye-bye. This thing about to go.
Much love, Mitch.
What's up, Igor? Thanks for 420, man.
Is that a joint?
Yeah, dude, this thing probably about to get nuked and go to 667, 694. Minimum. This is just not what you do. And a well-established downtrend, you don't do this. You don't create the bearish bat pattern and then perform so well. And then as you're performing well and you're oscillating in price, you're just making the argument stronger for bearish. Like, look, these two peaks that happened, and they're visible on the daily, they are substantially lower than the high of the peak of the harmonic, right? And now you're so weak that the buyers are coming in, and it's less market participation. It's very subtle distribution, and there's a buy wall that's pretty much being broken, if not already broken now. And you're gonna see it, man. It's gonna be one day. My God, KuCoin's down 20%, 25%, and again, it's in 24-hour period. There's just look left. That's your evidence that, if anything, $8.12 from where you are now. So that just means that maybe doesn't sound like much. That's 7% downside minimum. And when that doesn't hold, 20 to 25% downside. So it's just very, very bearish. SNX is going to collapse. Oh yeah, it's already below all the sports. Nothing makes sense here on SNX. Nothing until 142 to 155. We already looked at DOT, Tim. Thank you. Look, if you've broken all formal support that exists anywhere, why could it not have potential for 30% downside? It could and probably will. And you can see momentum shift there. But man, how great was it? And here's the thing, another thing, right? We had identified a potential inverse head and shoulders. It became confirmed as an inverse head and shoulders. But what happened? It underperformed significantly. Underperformance, meaning it doesn't even come close to hitting a measured move or hitting the next inflection points where historically you go up there because there's just not enough demand. The trend's too bearish. So underperforming, bullish momentum shifting structure, that it's a litmus test that tells you when you identify bullish reversal patterns that end up somehow being reliable, but then they underperform. Who controls the market still? Do bulls control the market? No, the bears still control it. When bullish patterns somehow begin to play out and they underperform. Okay. God, dude. Tezos is another one that's like in dire straits here. Oh my God, dude. I would think like nothing makes sense on this asset till 85 cents, 84 cents. And even there, it's kind of like, oh, will it hold? Oh. Look what it's done. What was at one time in 2018, 2019, even 2020, resistance support is now confirmed as resistance. And what are you doing? Really, what are you doing? Even locally, you're making lower highs. So we know it's undeniable that there are less market participants that own the asset September 13th than they did August 12th, than they did June 7th. So classic distributions going on, kind of a buy wall a little bit. It's off. Either way, it's so bearish, man. 3 peaks, I see them. And looking left, nothing there, man. No inflection points, never pivoted. So your downside, I think, on Tezos from here, if you're patient enough, you'll get another 37, 38% sale on Tezos. Just sit on your hands and wait, because this is in bad shape. But dude, Bitcoin's up today, $58. Bear market, oh, is this a bull run? Zcash, talk about, oh my God, man. Like, oh my God. Can't hold. You know how dangerous you are? Like, the levels you're at are so dangerous right now. You're staring into the abyss. Straight down, up. Right, down, up. Down, up, down, up. When this breaks for real, straight down. You go to $34. So fast. What's the downside potential on Zcash? When or if? It already broke. It broke. It made its... Wow. You know what Zcash did just 30 minutes ago? Zcash made its lowest daily candle close really since like July of 2020. Multi-year lows on Zcash on the close. And really broke the rectangle like it with a confirmation close, right? So we're talking like downside potential is like 33, 35%. Come here. I hope it holds. I hope it springs and we go to $1 billion and Zcash becomes the world reserve currency. Yeah, I hope so, man, for everyone. I'm not here to try to like, I don't know what you think I'm some people might think I'm doing is like trying to make people sad, or they're thinking I'm projecting something. Dude, I'm just looking at the charts, looking at the environment, the climate, everything's bearish. Everything's red candle, not green candle stuff. And it just like it's good perspective to see how close we are to that fateful day that we've been waiting for since June 18th, right? Since the crash ended. Didn't know at the time. June 18th ushered in a bottom, a midterm bottom. Well, here we are, June 18th. It's now October 11th. Many months have gone by. And we're pretty much wrapping up the consolidation phase. Impulse phase, consolidation, impulse, consolidation. Okay, that's where we are. And you can see how close Bitcoin is to the abyss. You can see how close some of these altcoins are to the abyss, to those major markdown days where it's like, sweet mother of God, once $83 breaks, I don't really know how you don't see $53. We'll get these, if this keeps up, you're gonna get one of those days again, or a few of those days, a week of that. The Moon Boys already quit, I would think, but my God, if the Moon Boys are still here, wow, I'm impressed. There might be hope for them yet if they're still here. I think the same with Dash, right? Dash, oh yeah, it's just like, what's... I mean, you're just sitting here. You shouldn't be sitting here this long. You should not be getting this many opportunities to buy Dash at $40. No way. You're sitting here too long, man. Once it breaks, bye-bye Dash, you go to $31. Downside from a true bearish breakdown, 20%. Not too bad. Might be data somewhere else. It's the COVID crash low. Music's not? Oh my God. It's everywhere, man. It's everywhere. ZRX probably too. It's like, oh yeah, man, this thing's done. But dude, it's a shark. It's a shark pattern. Yeah, have fun. Have fun not looking at context. It's okay to love harmonics. I love harmonics. But understanding other things outside of harmonics is really important too. Because you know where this thing is. It's going to go to 22 cents from here. It will. History tells us it's going to happen. History is telling us that Zcash has a minimum of 12 to 13% downside, and there's no arguing. But what I'm thinking is it's not going to hold this on the next test. You're probably going down another 35, 36%. This is what you had. This is what you did all summer. The bulls had their argument. They had their chance. And what'd they do? What was once resistance, well, first off, what was once support in March 2018, then resistance December 2018, April 2019, May of 2019, pretty much October of 2019 and February 2020 was once resistance support. It's just resistance again. And now you're rolling over and no one wants to buy it and we're in a recession. So you really think we're not going to see 22 cents and then 16 cents again? We will. People are starving, dude. Yep. Massive underperformance on a really nice harmonic with a type 2 return. This is similar to what Bitcoin was doing locally. But look at that. It performed crazy, but still underperformed. It couldn't do anything. Couldn't even test the top of the harmonic. That's how you know, underperformer, and now it's getting ready to collapse again. Well, storage, man. Look at storage. Hey, dude, there's a Gartley. Notice how the Gartley catches no bids at 786 and probably won't catch bids at the 886. Now, it's kind of interesting because there's a supports and resistance there from history, but it's storage. Who cares? I'm not going to long storage because it completes. Give me a type 2 return and maybe the macro conditions turn around. Maybe I'll be inclined to buy. I'm not going to buy on a potential reaction. You don't get to have this thing just dumps through it like nothing. That's why type 2 returns are so important, because if the type 1 return hadn't even really happened, no reaction, then there's no validity to the harmonic structure. It could just dump and become nothing. It could end up becoming a crab pattern or butterfly combo, right? It could do that. So bleeding out. But yeah, it's heading on down to some supports, and once it breaks, more supports will be below it. So God, stuff like OXT, it's ridiculous. Like, what do you think is going to happen to OXT, man? We're at all-time low. This was the all-time low, I believe, right? And you're below it now. Look at the high. You see the high, May 13th, and then the lower high, just a little bit after that, June 1st, and then the lower high, August 13th, and then another lower high, September 8th, and then another lower high, October. You get it. It's just distribution, man, with the buy wall. This thing, it's at 9 cents. It could go to 2 cents, 5 cents, lose 50, 80% of your value from here because it's OXT. It has no utility, it doesn't do anything. No one's going on board for OXT. Orchid, man, no one. It doesn't have a balance sheet. It doesn't generate revenue. And if it does, it can't prove to you that it does. Based on the law, no SEC quarterly reports. It's useless beanie baby. It's the equivalent of a beanie baby that you can trade when there's liquidity in the system and there's momentum, there's bullish momentum. When it gets to stuff like this, look at these wicks. The illiquidity is so evident. Just that's the crypto market now. Not just the price doesn't just go down, the liquidity goes away. So it's almost like you buying something like this. It's like, what are the bids and asks gonna be? They're probably terrible spreads. You don't want to trade stuff like that with terrible spreads. All right, man. I don't know. I was just going through some of the crypto. We looked at a lot of stuff today. We could go to Tesla. I could keep it going for a minute. We're getting out of here. Hour 40 minutes live. Like button, bell, sub. Join the Discord. Pinned above. Join the Discord. Hey, I love Tesla because Tesla's respecting the TA like the Jesus. I'll play Jesus Challenge when we hit 209 because we knew you were here. You were watching the stream. When you're confirming what was once resistance is resistance again, you had clear as day bearish divergence on the second peak. You knew what was probably coming straight up, straight down. You're just doing it. And when that breaks, oh my God, all heck's gonna break loose, man. On the weekly, you have the structure. You have the classic distribution structure with a bearish edge. And you're sitting at 38 on the weekly RSI. That's like prime conditions for a bubble to really pop. Hoarder remembers, dude. Yeah, it's crazy, dude. Just think about an 886 though on Tesla in a year, $68. No one would believe it. There's a gap fill down there. No one would believe it, man. You're crazy. If you call me crazy, you don't have the right to call me that and to not come back in a year or whenever we see the 886. Oh no, we didn't look at Pulse Doge Chain Malone. Yeah, we did, didn't we? No, we looked at Suka, which is, I don't know, they're like similar kind of, right? I don't even remember, dude. Sorry. Nah, I don't think we did it. We did it, man. We broke resistance. Hey. Or we're breaking it on the weekly. All right, dude. I love it. I love what it did. That was a statement from buyers today on Pulse Doge Malone Chain Coin. Okay. We were talking the conversation centerpiece yesterday for this asset was the inability to break a sell wall, right? To break a horizontal resistance. But beautifully, yesterday, it's now a new day. Yesterday, we did it. Pulse Doge Chain market participants did it, man. They broke it. So you have a daily candle close confirmed breakout of key level. And I would imagine you would back test 489, maybe even 450 if things got bad. But that's great, man. Kush Blunts, that's great, dude. That's what you needed really bad. And so if it holds above this long enough, your next target's pretty much 635.
API 3?
So what you doing, man? This is an inflationary environment. Stern. Thank you, Susso. I appreciate it, but it's just rules, man. It's not fair, right? It's not fair to like request something so close to the amount and then I'll look at it. Then everyone starts tipping 13, and then 12, and then 11, and then 5, and 0. It's like, okay, so you clearly see the levels, right? And you're above one that we desperately need to get above. You got back above it, and you made your highest daily candle close since August 16th. Nice. So again, a back test would be in order and wouldn't be weird. Just to confirm the validity of the old resistance as support. You always want to see that before it then would run to 635, 636. And if you ever broke that, then 884, right? Or you could say just an 886 high to low. You're talking, 866. There you go. So thank you, man. I appreciate it, dude. Yeah, much love.
Susa super chatted $30.
Yeah, dude, we'll look at that, man, right now. Yeah. Right now. Sorry Bitcoin sucks, chat. Sorry the stock market sucks. This is what happens when you print $9 trillion plus globally and you keep doing it, right? That's the only recourse now for the Bank of England. They don't print money. They're done for. You're talking about pension funds will default. Man, I'm happy I'm living a life where I don't have to rely on a pension fund one day that probably won't be there. API 3. I could imagine you're not going to be satisfied because I'm telling you, with the way Bitcoin is now, this is going to end miserably for API 3. You name the crypto though, all right? You name it. API 3. So illiquid. It's so stuck, man. It crashed. So what happened? Like, what does this tell you? This all tells you that the people that really mattered, right? The people that exited in 22-day period, API 3 from a high to low, right? Lost 76, 77% of its value. Those people that exited are not coming back. They haven't come back yet anyway, right? They haven't. And clearly and subtly, very clearly on the daily, you can see it. All right, I can see a peak here. All right, it's not a discernible peak I'd be plotting for an anchor point for Fibonacci, but I see that. I see another peak. I see now another. I see classic distribution going on after some sort of buying climax. Oh yeah, the height of the bear market rally, things have changed. Momentum has shifted to the bears, and this is how you know. And what happened? Was it real? It certainly is real. On the third peak, of course, you have Class C, hidden bearish divergence on that MACD histogram, and you have Class A, hidden bearish divergence on the RSI. Look, you made a high on price on your second peak, then you made a substantially lower high, and you have a higher high on the RSI. That is hidden bearish divergence implying continuation downward. I would think your target's 123 from here in time if you're patient. Kind of similar in ways a little bit locally to BNB. So from where you are now, it can go up and down, but I'm thinking if that's the way it's going, you got like 23, 24% downside here. Okay. And so, you know, in summation, hot garbage, not different than mainly anything else in the crypto space. Just as dead and as illiquid as everything else. The big players are out. They've been out, and they're probably staying out. So you don't even probably, based on the local price action, even if it rallied, it would be kind of crazy seeing the psychology of buyers and sellers and understanding the bears are back in control, right? Since the buying climax, they're in control. All right, this was, oops, the, that was it, man. Everything's changed since that day, since, you know, mid-August. It's now bears ball again. And even if you were going to try to have hopium to smoke on, 886 is at 126, 122 anyway. So just wait for a full reset, 886 anyway for a shark. But dude, again, there's probably not even enough liquidity for someone to be creating patterns anymore on these coins. It's so similar to 2018. Whenever all the liquidity just dried up, all of 2018, things just got more and more dead. The movement, the velocity of the moves got weaker and weaker. And then eventually this crap just like this happens. So, and then, oh my God, Bitcoin's down 55% in 5 weeks. And the altcoins, worse. There's no money in these markets anymore, comparative to how much money was in the market. We understand that by looking at the chart we look at every day, which is total. Remember that time when things were able to move, crazy moves, and you could make money? Remember there was like almost $3 trillion in the system, and now we are sub 1 trillion. Yeah, just not the same market. You have to understand that. All right, man. So, it's been a pretty good stream. Pretty flat. I'm talking about illiquidity here, man. And just think about this. Just think about something like, oh God, I don't know, just a random S coin, DGB. You can clearly see we're getting near the massive support again, but the price action you're receiving here is so miserable. Like, I just don't believe this is gonna hold. And I do think we will eventually break 8.2 tenths of 1 cent on DGB, and it will be straight up and down, up, down, up, and then you'll get down. It just takes time. You can see how it went in between the levels beautifully, right? But here you are, you're down almost 2% on the day, and wow, lowest close since July, early July. Just so many coins look like this, man. But yeah, for now, Bitcoin on the new day is just kind of hanging in there. Hanging in there, but little did we know how close we are to death. Yeah, here it is. So make of this what you will. I mean, you're at a level, you know what inflection points are. It's where inflection happens. It's where bids can come in. But the context is miserable. You've been holding this level for many months now, and you're getting weaker and weaker, and you can clearly see the lack of demand and the price action correlation to a level from the top of the cycle from 2017. And all it's going to take now, we're so close, all it's going to take is just any spike in the volatility index, any massive move down, and it's good night for Bitcoin finally, after all these months. But now, I think we have identified on this stream, and this is like newer to me, I didn't see it, and that's okay. Like, you're not supposed to see everything. But hey, a member of the community said something that made me reassess the way I was looking at something, and now I feel strong. I have strong conviction on this.
Susa super chatted $30. I'm gonna buy you a beer, Mr. Mitch, cause what you do.
Well, because of inflation, that's what they're starting to cost now, right? Thank you, Suso, for like the 73.13 on the day, I believe. Thank you, dude. It's all it takes, man. You're so close. So please pay attention. If you plot your chart like this, have your alerts set up just somewhat below $18,800. The oscillator set. Scrub positive momos beginning to turn red, and you're so set up on 44 neutral on the RSI for a big flush, so you're not even in jeopardy of becoming oversold on your RSI on a significant time scale where this is being identified. And understand the partial rise. If you don't believe me, go Google partial rise Thomas Bulkowski and read about it. They only exist in broadening formations, broadening structures, right? Right angled ascending broadening formation, right angled descending broadening formation, broadening bottoms, broadening tops, and rectangles. That's where they exist. It's where you have the pattern painted, the asset hits the top of the structure, then in turn runs to the bottom, actually hits the bottom of the structure, then rallies, but on that rally, and it's after the pattern develops, it then fails to see the top of the pattern again. That happened perfectly. That is, and it becomes, once it starts pivoting and reversing back to the bottom of the pattern, it's called a potential partial rise. But when the asset tests one more time the bottom of the structural development, the right angle ascending broadening formation, it then becomes confirmed. And when it is confirmed, that means there's a 70% chance of a bearish breakdown after this thing becomes confirmed. It's confirmed. It doesn't happen immediately. This is a big pattern. And it's each day, each candle represents 24 hours. It takes a minute, but it's still intact and it's still very valid and gives me the belief that the next thing that's coming probably for Bitcoin, and I could be completely wrong, but I'm not misreading this. Go Google the pattern, Google the partial rise, and tell me I'm off base here. That's being implied. If you're patient enough, you're going to get some chop up and down, man. I can't believe it. It was so wrong. Everyone expects 14K. Whatever, man. I don't. Y'all like look at too much stuff. I'm not looking at what everyone says. I'm looking at structural developments on a chart. What were people saying here? I don't know, and I don't give two craps what anyone was saying here. I don't care. But when you were below 29,000, 28.8, only bearish, because you could run down and repeat history, straight up, straight down, it happened. When we fell back below 40K and started back testing levels, and then when you back the bearish engulfing candle below 40,522, only bearish because you run the chance of seeing 30K, it happened. Now the same thing's happening. You're below 19,891. And now we have a good argument with a Bulkowski structure. Who cares about what everyone says? Yeah, guess what? Everyone's connected to Twitter. Everyone's connected, and a lot of people are listening to good people, smart people. So there's an echo chamber of a bearish bias because it makes sense to be bearish right now. I mean, just think about if Twitter really existed in 08, 07, 08, you don't think there'd be the same type of stuff, like information being exchanged by a bunch of people on the internet? You know how many other people are not participating in whatever you're reading that's so bearish? There's so many. For every one person that thinks that way, there are probably 1,000+ people that don't think that way and don't care and aren't looking. Yeah, really, like this community has been bearish since we topped. It was on the S&P, and it was when we had confirmation via traditional technical analysis. This was it. This was it right here. This was the week we liquidated. We're done. You can't do this. You can't top out, crash, rally, make a lower high, then a lower low than the previous low, then the same high. That these two are lower than this high. That was it. We were done. And been done ever since. Cash, baby. Ever since. And look at you now. And you're going lower, most likely. Maybe not tomorrow, but soon. Soon you'll be seeing much lower prices. But this was the technical argument for that. All that. So, yeah, good luck. I hope this assessment is so wrong. God, I hope it's so wrong. I hope it pivots and we go to actually 30K and I can come in and eat crow. I hope so, man. But it's the psychology of buyers and sellers. Less market participants are clearly showing their hand. It's telling you, based on reading the chart, that there are less people that own the asset over and over and over again. Okay. So that's good enough. That's it, man. Thanks for likes, love, support, contributions. I'll be back. Till next time. Respect the T. Hey.